Hey there guys, Artistic Nick here, thanks for the click. In today's drawing video, I'm going to be showing you how to draw a double portrait, and this is a commission piece that I've been doing for Sophie for her mum and grandmother. I hope you enjoy. Thank you so much for joining me for today's drawing tutorial. This is a double portrait, and I'm going to just be talking you through the processes that I use and the techniques that I use to get a realistic graphite drawing. This is of Kelly and Nola, and it's from Sophie as a Christmas present. I hope you guys enjoy the video, and I hope you enjoy the present. It was a pleasure to draw, and I'll talk you through the process. So whenever I'm trying to draw a realistic portrait, it's very important that we get a really good reference image. I'm pleased to say that this reference image was fantastic. It had a lot of detail and a lot of personality, and this made my drawing so much easier. The materials that I use for these realistic drawings are Caran D'ache pencils, and I actually use Strathmore Bristol paper. I've used the smooth paper for this as it just allows me to get some very smooth transitions from the dark into the lighter areas. Now it's actually quite difficult to tell when you're watching it in time lapse, but the actual movement of the pencil is a downward stroke. I'm not scribbling as it almost looks like through the time lapse. I'm only ever pulling the pencil towards me, so from sort of top to bottom, and we call this a tapered stroke, and what I'm doing is I'm layering over and over again until I get the right value. So as you can see, the process that I've been going through is I've been working in the darkest areas, so around the eyes, any of the darker areas around the nose and the mouth, and working my way out. I start with a harder pencil, so I'm working with the 4H and the 2H pencils, working my way up into the B pencils, making sure that I'm trying to get a smoother transition into the darker areas and then into the light areas as possible. Whenever we're trying to draw realism, there's two things that we really need to concentrate on, and the first is contrast. So that's making sure that the darkest areas are really quite dark compared to the lightest areas, and what you'll tend to find is the lighter areas are usually around cheeks, around the nose, and sort of around the eye areas. The darkest areas are the recesses of the mouth, the smile lines, and in the eyes. The second thing that we need to do to try and create realism is get very smooth transitions from the darker areas into the light. So what I do is I actually use a layering technique for this. If I go in too early with a darker pencil, what you tend to find is you have the white grain of the paper coming through, and it gives a quite unrealistic look to it. So I start with the harder pencils, and I start to try and fill the tooth up with the harder pencils before working my way into the darker pencils, the B pencils. As you can see, I don't use anything to blend. I just have a very soft brush that I brush intermittently. And this is so I don't damage the tooth of the paper, because it's so important that I can actually start to take away some of the graphite marks. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, guys, and don't forget to subscribe. If you like these types of videos, and I'm doing weekly videos, I'm doing a Scribble Art Sunday, I'm also doing tutorials as well. If you've got anything you'd like me to cover in future videos, let me know in the comments section down below. You can also find me on social media. The links to all of my platforms are down below in the descriptions. And I'm going to leave you with the final drawing, the final finished piece. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next video. Hit subscribe, smack the notifications button, follow me on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter.